So every year, tech companies invest millions of dollars into research and development so that they can bring us new products, exciting products, and innovative products year after year after year. But in the quest for innovation, some of these companies make us wonder, like, what on earth were they thinking? What's up guys, it's your boy Glenn back again with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at 10 of the biggest tech fails that the world will never forget. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back guys. I hope everyone is safe during this difficult period. I would really appreciate if you leave me a like on this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell icon so that you can be notified as soon as I upload a new video. By the way, this top 10 is not in any particular order. I will leave this to you to decide. Number 1, we have the Apple Pippin. Well, with a name like that, it's not surprising that it's on here. Released in 1996, Apple thought that they would hit it big with the gaming console, which could browse the web and be used as an educational device. But it turned out that people just weren't interested. It is estimated that Apple produced 100,000 units of the Pippin console, but sold only about 42,000 of them. Many people made fun of the design, saying that Apple deliberately designed the controller to look like a boomerang. So if anyone tried throwing it away, it will always return. Gameplay on the Pippin was average, and with a price tag of $5.99, it was definitely a recipe for disaster. Number 2, we have the Nintendo Virtual Boy. Launched in 1995, the Virtual Boy was marketed as the first console capable of displaying 3D graphics. While the idea was way ahead of its time, it was clear that Nintendo rushed the project, which ultimately led to its failure. I will be honest with you, the very first time I saw the Nintendo Virtual Boy, I had a sudden urge to barbecue. Also, back then, people were just unwilling to shell out $180 on a virtual gaming console. Even though it was called a Virtual Boy, it wasn't virtual reality, it was just 3D. The system used a pair of oscillating mirrors to turn a single line of LED pixels into a 3D projection made of red pixels against a black background. That's another thing with the Virtual Boy. The only colors it was capable of displaying was black and red. Persons who used it said it was a very uncomfortable experience for them. The Virtual Boy was a product with so much promise, but failed to deliver. I do believe though that VR headsets would not be what they are today if it wasn't for the launch of the Virtual Boy. Next we have the Samsung Galaxy Note 7. In 2016, Samsung launched what was their best smartphone ever at the time, quickly selling over 2.5 million units in a month. Experts were all excited and were predicting record sales for Samsung in the upcoming months. That success was short-lived and quickly turned into a PR nightmare as customers began reporting fires and videos surfaced on the internet showing Note 7 devices exploding like hand grenades. Initially, Samsung gave customers new replacement devices, but they too had grenade tendencies. After the FAA banned the Galaxy Note 7 from being on airplanes, Samsung demanded that the customers bring in the Note 7 in exchange for any other Samsung smartphone of their choice. The good news for Samsung is that the Galaxy Note line has made a full recovery, with the Note 8, 9 and 10 all being successful devices. Samsung would troll so hard that they included the Note 7 in GTA as a weapon. A faulty battery almost destroyed Samsung's reputation. Up next, we have Google Glass. Released in 2013, the Google Glass was a very flawed attempt to create smart glasses. The device retailed for $1,500 and failed to carry out any of its functions very well. With there also being genuine concerns over safety and privacy, it's not difficult to see why the Google Glass project ultimately failed. Researchers have found evidence which indicates that wearing heads-up displays can contribute to eye fatigue and may cause visual confusion. People were very concerned that those wearing the high-tech glasses would be able to record them without their consent. One thing I know for sure is that though the Google Glass was a failure in terms of the actual product, I see it as a success for humanity, as the glass got all of us to take a step back to think about our privacy and lines which should not be crossed. Next, we have the Amazon Fire Phone. I know that Amazon is not proud of that one. Amazon decided to enter the smartphone market in 2014 with the Fire Phone. However, it was a total disaster and was discontinued only a year later. While Tom Skutak, Chief Financial Officer at Amazon at the time, blamed the retail price for its failure, there were many other factors which contributed to Amazon making a $170 million loss. Some of those being no Google apps, no Google Play Store or Apple Store. Also, with the absence of Bluetooth, not only was it impossible to share files via Bluetooth, you could kiss Bluetooth accessories such as wireless headphones goodbye. With a price tag of $650 US, which made it a direct competitor to companies like Samsung and Apple, you can see why this Amazon phone went down in flames. Faking its way to number 6 is the Lily drone. The Lily drone. A fully waterproof drone that can follow you down a mountain, take off the second you toss it in the air, then automatically take your photo. Doesn't this sound like the greatest drone ever created? Well, that 2015 idea was a crowdfunding disaster. After years of hype and anticipation, it was revealed that the company's promo video was as real as a flying pig, likely faked using footage from a GoPro. Lily Robotics never shipped a single unit out of the 60,000 pre-orders it received, even though backers poured in close to $60 million in the project. They were later sued by the San Francisco District Attorney's Office. It seems like Lily's plan was to fake it until it made it. Next, we have one of the more unusual looking items on the list. It is the Energizer P18 Key. Energizer's P18 Key Android phone, billed as the world's longest lasting smartphone with its 18,000 mAh battery, has died an unceremonious death after crowdfunding proved few people actually wanted it. The phone was shown at Mobile World Congress last February and launched on Indiegogo in late March. The crowdfunding goal was set at $1.2 million, but only managed to raise $15,000 with 11 backers. Although having a battery which could last almost 2 months on standby, the thickness of the Energizer phone was laughable to so many and was the inevitable subject of memes. This is a simple lie detector test. Do you know that battery life is not the only thing that consumers care about?
Yes.
Coming in at number 8 is Apple's AirPower. In September of 2017, Apple announced that it would be releasing a wireless charging pad called AirPower. It was an extremely ambitious high-speed wireless charging pad that was intended to charge an iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch simultaneously. Unlike other charging pads on the market designed to handle multiple products at once, the AirPower distinguished itself by having the capability of charging the iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch all at the same time, regardless of their orientation and positioning in relation to the charging coils. This would have made it the most user-friendly and desirable wireless charger on the market. Last year, Apple put out a statement which read, and I quote, "After much effort, we've concluded AirPower will not achieve our high standards and we have cancelled the project. We apologize to those customers who were looking forward to this launch. We continue to believe that the future is wireless and are committed to push the wireless experience forward." End quote. It was rumored that AirPower would cause the charging pad to overheat and would potentially have a Galaxy Note 7 situation. If this was indeed the case, then in my opinion, they made the right decision. The most embarrassing thing about this for Apple is that they ended up cancelling a product after it had been announced. Apple very rarely cancels products outright after announcing them. The last time they did this was in August of 1996 when they decided to cancel Copland OS. The cancellation of AirPower wasn't a good look for Apple, but it's nothing that a $1 trillion company can't handle. The last two on this list makes me very sad. It almost makes me emotional as I feel a very strong emotional connection to these devices. In at number 9 we have HTC. Oh, how I love HTC. My very first Android smartphone was an HTC. That was the HTC Desire. What a lovely device. It is honestly painful to watch HTC in the current predicament. I would have never thought that this smartphone giant would fall so hard. In 2011, HTC had 11% of the market share and were doing great. Now they are at 0.1%. HTC are at rock bottom. Any lower and they may just find oil. I personally use the HTC Desire, Desire HD, Droid, One S, and so many more of their smartphones. A few of their phones didn't connect well with consumers though, so as a result, people slowly began gravitating towards the other phone manufacturers. After releasing the HTC One with Beats Boom sound, it seemed like things were looking up again for HTC. But they shot themselves in the foot again after releasing the U Ultra. Prominent influencers like MKBHD were unable to recommend it to his viewers because it was just so bad. Sadly, that was the end for them as a true competitor in the smartphone market. I really hope that by some miracle they are able to thrive again. HTC will always have a special place in my heart. Last on the list, but by no means least, is Blackberry. This is a company which once had the smartphone world in the palm of its hands, having up to 50% market share. Their downfall, as with many tech companies, was not evolving with the times. They were adamant that their operating system and a physical QWERTY keyboard were the solutions to persons' problems. Complacency had set in and they just weren't innovating like their lives depended on it. Well, at the time it didn't, but that was exactly what toppled them. Apple had arrived on the smartphone scene and innovated with a vengeance. So did companies like Samsung and HTC as they tried to gain a foothold in the market. Consumers soon started realizing that the other devices out there were offering them more than what Blackberry had to offer. But there was one thing keeping them with Blackberry, and that was BBM Messenger. Who remembers their PIN? If you do, post it in the comment section. I certainly can't remember mine. With Blackberry knowing this, they decided to keep BBM Messenger exclusively to Blackberry in an attempt to lure customers into switching. But in 2009, an app called WhatsApp came along to hit BBM a knockout punch. With WhatsApp being a cross-platform messaging application, persons no longer had to be on the same platform to keep in touch with each other. In 2015, Blackberry launched a new Priv in an attempt to salvage the brand, but it turned out to be a bit sluggish. It also came with bloatware that users couldn't uninstall and had overheating issues. In the end, Blackberry thought it had more time and room for error than it actually did. If you fail to evolve in the tech world, not even billions of dollars will save you from crashing down. Okay, so we have come to the end of yet another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you for supporting my channel. Please let me know down in the comment section what you thought about this video. Also, let me know in the comment section which company that you thought had the biggest fail. Once again, a big thank you to everyone for supporting my channel. I've recently passed the 150 subscriber mark and I couldn't have done it without you. Remember to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Until next time, peace out.